Patrick says, if you were to design the ideal fifth bowler, what attributes would you give them? Okay, the problem with this, Patrick, is it's a very good question, but you have to know what the other four bowlers are. So that's the first thing with the fifth bowler. So let's say you had three seamers and an off spinner. Your ideal fifth bowler then is probably going to be a left arm finger spinner or a leg spinner, probably a leg spinner. That's not going to be the case if you have a slightly different attack. If your best four bowlers are an off spinner, a left arm finger spinner, a tall fast bowler, and medium fast seam bowler, perhaps you want your fifth bowler to be like an Andre Russell, Ben Stokes, who can bowl 90 miles an hour type of player, which Andre Russell did early in his first class career. It's a tremendous shame that Andre Russell didn't come around 5 or 10 years earlier, because you look at some of the games he played in first class cricket, he was a monster. It would have been fantastically fun to see him play in Test cricket. But yeah, sadly now he would never be able to do it. He'd never be able to bowl 10 overs in a day, as we saw in the One Day World Cup. So I do think, so if you go back to Jacob Oram or Tom Moody, so if your fast bowlers are, let's have a look at Australia, where you have McDermott, Merv Hughes, Paul Rifle, Damon Fleming, as your seamers, and you have Shane Warne as your spinner, then having someone like Tom Moody as your fifth bowler would be very good. Or trying to think of a very good, Shoaib Malik. No, Mohammad Hafiz in that situation would be very good. So it really does depend on what your four bowlers are. There's almost no bad fifth bowler. I think the worst fifth bowler would be, let's say Australia in 2002 had Joe Root in their batting order. And Joe Root and Colin Miller are really, really similar in that they're both faster off spinners. Then it's hard to use them that much unless you've got two left-handers, on day 4 or day 5 batting together. So I think from that perspective, that's when a fifth bowler is less important, when they don't have that kind of a skill set that allows you to maximize. You want your fifth bowler to be legitimately a fifth option. And I think, with Joe Root, if you look at him, he's a fifth option if you're playing against a team with a bunch of left-handers or if you're playing in Asia. But the rest of the time, he's not particularly a fifth option. If you look at someone like Ben Stokes, or Jadeja, they're legitimate fifth options kind of everywhere in the world. And, the majority of the time, Jadeja's in the top 4 bowlers. And Ben Stokes, because of his skill set, in most places has the ability to at least give you 5 to 10 important overs. This is before his knee injury. But great question, Patrick. I really like that.